Okay, so now we're going to talk about Doctor Who. Now, I've done videos about this show in the past, and I'm going to be real with you. I checked out of this show when Peter Capaldi stepped aside. I was not into the whole Jodie Whittaker experiment. I thought it was terrible for the show. I think they took away an iconic character for boys to look up to, and that's just my opinion. I don't care what anyone else thinks about it. I grew up loving this show. I started out with Tom Baker. He was my doctor. I got addicted to this show when I was sent away, and I was sent to live with my grandparents, and I just found this show by mishap, and I fell in love with it, and it's just something that I've loved my entire life. But I'm gonna be honest, when they got into the Peter Capaldi era, that era there, I held on for dear life, because there were times I would watch it. My whole family and we would all get together and watch this. My son loved Matt Smith. He got into Doctor Who through Matt Smith. But it got to be where when Peter Capaldi was the doctor, it became sort of a chore. And I was just to the point where I would look at my wife at the end of the episode and say, I just didn't like it. I didn't like how they started pushing all the identity politics into it. And I know people are going to say, well, identity politics have always been in there. Yes, there was, but it was in it was like a very subdued way. It wasn't like something that was on the nose. It was something that was, just there, and they would talk about things in allegories, but I mean, it wasn't it wasn't like something they beat you over the head with. And that's pretty much what this show became. All it was, like I said, identity politics, and you had the feminism in it. You had the girl boss with Jodie Whittaker, and this was just a disaster. And it got to the point where, being a Doctor Who fan, I was really embarrassed about it. And I was just praying that the show would end. But then we got Ncuti Gatwa. Now, like I said, I never watched any of this stuff because I just didn't want to ruin my head canon with this, because to me, in my opinion, I mean, I like Peter Capaldi, but the jump off point for me when I'm recommending Doctor Who to other fans is jump off at the end of the 50th anniversary, because that's where the show kind of went off the rails, if you ask me. Like, I loved Matt Smith's last season, and that's like the last true good Doctor Who that we had. And I know a lot of folks like Peter Capaldi, and I think he's a great actor, and I think they did him really dirty. But I mean, I just couldn't get into him. He had a few good episodes, but it was just, like I said, the identity politics was just over the head. I couldn't stand Bill. It was just something that was it felt like it was just forced down my throat every episode when she had to tell me that she's not into men. I get it. She was a lesbian. I don't care. I don't need to hear about it in every episode. And that's where they started to lose me. And then they started the whole, regeneration where, men can be women, women can be men. That's not how it was for all these years, 50 years of this. And then they started doing this later on. And I know some people say, well, it was in the show, and it was in, Jodie Whittaker and Peter Capaldi's, but it didn't happen until that point of time when they got woke and they put in all these identity politics, and then they insulated themselves with, feminism and racism and everything else. So if you don't like the show, you're every istophobe in the book. And it just got to the point where it just felt like I was being lectured. And then I was also told by some of the cast, and if you don't like it, go touch grass. Well, guess what? Most folks went and touched grass, and now here we are at the end of Doctor Who. I'm a little angry about it because, like I said, this was something that I treasured. I enjoyed this ever since I was a kid. And now it's just something that was just sacrificed on the altar of identity politics and wokeism. And it's just sad because a lot of things that, we've cherished as kids have, come to these terms where it's just, we have to let go of it. And it's sad. And like I said, I walked away from Doctor Who a long time ago. It's been a few years now. And like I said, I listen to channels that cover it because I just can't bring myself to watch it. Channels like Nerdrotic and Bulge Trek. I mean, they do a great job covering it. Clownfish. I don't have to watch it because I listen to them. And I mean, I just can't bring myself to do it. It's just something that just, it hurts my soul to think about it. I don't know, man, but I just feel that, this is going to be the end for Doctor Who. And like I said, it's really sad. I don't know if their contract's been renewed on it or not. I know the last episode's coming up. I won't watch it. I will watch some of the other people like Bulge Trek. He'll cover it, and it's hilarious, his coverage of it. And to me, it's become more of a parody of of what it used to be. And like I said, it's sad because this is it's like the grandfather of science fiction almost. I mean, this was like one of the first IPs that, we had in this genre. And it's sad. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, man. Let me know what you think about what the state of Doctor Who is right now. To me, I'm glad to see it coming to an end. I think it needs to be shelved for about 15 or 20 years. Hopefully I'm still alive when they bring it back. I don't know. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this kind of content. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think the state of Doctor Who is and what you think should happen to it at this point. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.